What's up, guys? Vendetta here. Welcome back to another discussion time. Today I wanted to talk about Call of Duty World War II's beta, how well it was for me. I really did personally enjoy it a lot. I loved it. But I do also want to talk about some of the flaws and stuff that I want to talk about also is, you know, just the pros and cons of the beta and hopefully what they improve on. I did the survey for them with when they sent me an email to do a survey after the beta closed. I gave my feedback on there, and this is basically the feedback that I'm giving after weekend 1 and weekend 2 of the beta. So this is what I have to say about the beta. First, I want to start off with just gameplay, like not even looking at graphics, not looking at the guns, nothing else, just the gameplay, like the multiplayer. I really enjoyed it. I like the boots on the ground TDM. It feels nostalgic, even though it's technically a brand new game. It feels basically to me like it does feel like World at War, you know? It feels like First Hour, you know, or Finest Hour. It feels like the big red one. It feels like those old classic World War II PS2 games, you know? It's World War II. It feels good. It looks good. You know, and the gameplay is just is just the icing on the cake. I mean, literally, it's beautiful gameplay. You'll get really pulled into it if you're a fan of the classic Call of Duty style, you know, boots on the ground. This is nothing that you have to fear. Is that the gameplay is the same, just like the old ones, but it's definitely improved. It's basically an upgraded version of World at War, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people. I've had friends that's told me about how they didn't look at the graphics they weren't impressed with the graphics that well, so they didn't really look at them like awe-dropping. But to me personally, the graphics wasn't the main point, you know, but I just wanted to share with you guys what my friends were telling me about what they said, and that's the first thing that came out of their mouth. When I asked them about the game, it wasn't the gameplay, it wasn't the guns, it wasn't like the classes, it wasn't nothing like that. It was simply graphics, the visuals, you know. And my friend Jed, he works at GameStop, he was also one of them that said, you know, he looked at the game and thought that it had Black Ops 1 graphics. To me, that doesn't matter. Black Ops 1 was just fine. As a matter of fact, Black Ops 1 and 2 is some of my favorite Call of Duties in the entire franchise, hands down. You know, that's just, I'm just throwing that out there. The thing is with, you know, this game is, it feels like Black Ops to me. Okay, and what I mean by that is, I know it's World War II, and I know that it's World at War. Like I said, it's World at War upgraded. You may not get what I mean. When people say it looks like World at War, so it is World at War basically, that's not necessarily true. You can look at a game and think that it's this way, but you can feel different about it. Like, you can say, you know, GTA and Saints Row both look like, you know, street gang type games that are about American satire, but they're both unrelated because one feels wacky and non-serious and the other one feels more serious. You see what I mean? There is differences, and you can feel that. You know, that's a feeling. You feel that, you know it. You know, just because they are similar in certain aspects doesn't mean anything. So, to me, this game feels like Black Ops with the gameplay and everything. Like, the graphics and the gameplay and all that, it doesn't matter to me. It just feels like Black Ops. It looks like World at War, but it feels like Black Ops. When I play it, the way I use the weapons, the way I run, the way I move, the way I, you know, dolphin dive, it feels, and dolphin dive could probably be the reason, but you know, to be honest with you, I just feel like this is Black Ops if they made a World War II version before the 1960s version. Black Ops 1, like if they made Black Ops 1 in World War II and then Black Ops 2 was in the 60s, I feel like this would be Treyarch's Black Ops 1 for World War II, because I feel like this game really feels so much like Black Ops. And that's what I love about it, is because Black Ops was one of the best Call of Duty games to play zombies on. Multiplayer was perfect. As a matter of fact, Black Ops 1, you know, guys, the reason I'm so happy that this brings back the nostalgic feel that Black Ops 1 did is because Black Ops 1 was also a classic game because it was the first Call of Duty to introduce sticks and stones, you know, one in the chamber, gun game. You know, a lot of those party modes, wager matches that we don't get now. So I really hope that this game is a huge huge comeback, because right now this is just the unfinished version. The beta is not the full one, obviously. We'll see what the full game is like at launch, but I just know that if they just improve on this, they don't change anything. They don't need to really change anything drastically. The game is fine. Besides, like, you know, some of the weapons being overpowered, like, you know, the kick or something, that's fine. But I'm saying just the way it is, it's fine. The visuals don't need to really change or anything. I mean, you know, I feel like they should focus more on, like, how people were saying, like, the kick or recoil, or like some of the SMGs are really overpowered. Like, some of those things can be worked on. I feel like that's more important than visuals. I know a lot of people, like I said, my friend Jed and all that, but I disagree with them. I feel like the graphics are just fine. I just want them to do a good Call of Duty this year. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's the goal I want Sledgehammer to make. This beta has to do good, or else this franchise is dead. This is supposed to be the comeback kid, the underdog. This game has to win, and by that they have to improve on the gameplay, not the visuals. The visuals is just a fucking sampler, if you will. It's a sampler, like, you know, at the mall where those people walk by and give you those little toothpicks with like meat or sushi or shrimp on it, and they're like, try it, you know. It's like that. That's a sampler. Visuals on this is fine. Look at it. It looks fine how it is for now. What they need to work on before launch is definitely gameplay, the mechanics. You guys got to agree with me, right? I mean, there's things that, like, listen, if you want visuals to be better, that's fine. But there's got to be categories for what's more important for which where place. You know what I mean? Like, you got to number it, list it, you know. They can't work on everything at once, so you got to think, okay, well, they should work on this first, and that second, and that third. That's what I think Sledgehammer, you guys should do, is you should definitely work on your game. And by game, I mean the game, in the game. Not what it looks like, not the visuals. People can say it looks like World at War, but it feels like Black Ops, and that's good. Because Black Ops and Black Ops 2 is still a huge popular game that people talk about today. It's a huge fan base for the Black Ops trilogy. You know, Black Ops 3 kind of like was a kind of either a hit and miss type of style, you know, but at least Black Ops 2 wasn't too futuristic. It was still boots on the ground, and that's why I say it's like Black Ops 1 or 2, you know, because it's still boots on the ground, and it gives that feel, like it feels good. It's like, it's almost as if, even though it's a brand new game, it feels comfortable playing it, you know, and that's good. So Sledgehammer, you're doing right by that. I'll say that. You're doing a really good job by making it feel fun to play. You know, I feel like it's really easy to level up, though. I'm not asking to make you get less XP, but what also I will say is, in the game mode war, I had an issue that when you're doing the bridge or taking the point, you're not getting XP for doing those objectives. You're still just getting XP for getting kills. I feel like that's really unfair, and I feel like you should feel like you're, because basically I don't want that game mode to die out, you know. I don't want them to, this game mode to be abandoned because they don't want to fix it, you know. I feel like if you're going to make this game mode last, people want to feel like there's a reason to do this point, you know, take that point or carry the tank to the objective. You know, if they're not getting XP while standing next to the tank or doing something, you know, it doesn't got to be like 100 XP every second, but like 5 or 10 XP just by standing next to it, you know, the tank, and, you know, guiding it to the place, or, you know, taking the point, or, you know, building the bridge, because it's a pain in the ass to do the bridge. Just, this is for the game mode war in general, guys. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but anybody that's likes that game mode and has played it in the beta, this is a part you're going to want to hear. I feel like personally they should work on that game mode, because I don't want to play that game mode if I'm not going to get XP for doing what I'm told to do, which is the objective. They don't even show KD when you tap on the touchpad to see. I'm talking about PS4, by the way. I'm playing on there, so when I say touchpad, I'm sorry for Xbox if you didn't get what I meant, but when I press the touchpad and I see the fucking you know, list of names, I don't even see KD. So that's a good plus right there. They're trying to make you focus on the objective, saying ignore the kills and the deaths, you know. Like, you don't even have to see it right there on the main names, you know, right next to your name and everything. It's over there in the corner. You know, they try to make it not as much noticeable because they want you to focus. I know why they did that. I see where they were trying to go. The derogative is objective, objective, objective. But here's the problem. XP, XP, XP. The objective should give you something. You know, you shouldn't just do it over kills, you know, because it's just going to be like TDM, but they're just saying, by the way, while you're getting XP for killing people, just stand on this point for no reason. They should give it more meaning, guys. It's a game mode for an objective-based gameplay, right? They should make it more worth playing, or else it's gonna die real soon after launch. And, you know, another thing is they need to definitely, most definitely, not just work on war, but I feel like they just need, like I said, the SMGs is another problem. They need to work on that. Like I said earlier, the SMGs are overpowered. I mean, seriously, you could spray like not even half of a clip on somebody and they just drop dead. And sometimes it's also because the other person shoots you and it gives you such a kickback that you aim instantly at their head and just drop them. I mean, seriously, some of these weapons is just ridiculous how you get kills. You know, I mean, I don't hate on anyone using the SMGs. I use the SMGs because it was an advantage. But Sledgehammer, you need to really work on those SMGs. And, you know, no offense to anyone that, you know, says, no, Joe, keep them like that, because I'm a guy that likes it easy. Fuck you. No, I feel like the SMGs need work on. I know people like those little shortcuts in games that are like, oh, this weapon's overpowered, I'm going to use this the whole game. I've seen plenty of those people in the beta. Fuck those guys. Sledgehammer, listen to what a lot of the base community is saying. Fix those, because really there's a lot, and it's not just the SMGs. Like I said, if you have a powerful weapon and, you know, you shoot somebody and you die, it's because you're knocking them back and their aim just goes straight up to your head when they're aiming at your chest. You make it easy for you to die. You're just killing yourself, basically. So for those people that's arguing about defending those OP'd weapons, you're really an idiot, because most of the time you die because of your own powerful weapon. They need to be more well balanced, you know. I feel like the SMGs are just ridiculous, you know, and I mainly spoke of them because, I mean, there's just so many. I mean, the Thompson is great, the STG-44 is great. I mean, there's a lot of great weapons, but some of them are just so powerful, you know. I'm not saying weaken them to where they're just a useless piece of plastic, or, you know, it's like a plastic toy, but yeah, definitely need to be worked on. You know, and besides that, I also want to talk about that I hope that in launch you can add a bayonet to other weapons, you know, like the sniper or maybe the shotgun, but I doubt the shotgun, but maybe the sniper, because it's still a rifle. To some extent it is a rifle, and you see, that's what I mean. You know, I didn't like that the STG was the only one that had a bayonet, and on top of that you only had it on the division, the infantry division. I hated that. Don't do that, Sledgehammer. Don't do that to us. Don't neglect us from a dope ass perk or whatever you want to add it to, or an attachment. Make it an attachment. That would make it great. That's a great idea. Think about adding it as an attachment. You know, maybe they already have thought of this, and maybe they just didn't want to make it at the beta. They just want to surprise us with it. You know, it's kind of like the grapple hook for Titanfall 2. People loved that shit, Sledgehammer. Listen to people when they tell you something. Make that happen for most weapons in the game, okay? Make it happen, if not for all of them. But, you know, if you want to make it make more sense, make it for all the rifles. Sniper rifles, you know, assault rifles, you know, anything that has like a, you know, basically what I'm saying is, if it takes two hands to carry, add a fucking bayonet to it, you know what I mean? Just seriously, it's not that fucking hard. Also, I want the divisions to be more meaningful. The divisions were great and all, but I feel like they didn't have much meaning, because when you bought them or unlocked them, it's like you had the shotgun up perk with the flame shells and all that, but it's like, you know, they didn't feel special because you could always change it out for a different weapon, you know? And it's like, I didn't feel like divisions were that important. At the, you know, the game was more like about, you know, they talked about the game like the divisions was something, oh, you know, individually special, like, oh, if you're this division or that division, you're something. But, you know, when you're playing the beta, it feels like, you're just playing with different classes. It's still create a class, you know, there's nothing much different, but just the slight difference of like a bayonet here, flame rounds there, you know what I mean? But anyways, guys, listen, that's all I have to say about the beta. Other than that, it was really fun. I fucking loved it. But Sledgehammer, hope you check this video out, guys. Let's get maybe 5 likes on this if we can, just to get it out there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed. XO out.